Not just unlikely in our lifetime, but truly impossible. When I was 6 or 7, I used to lay in bed at night, surrounded by the dark and quiet and tucked under the covers, and I'd fervently wish for a Cinderella-type dress to appear in my closet by morning. I wanted the big bustle, the ruffles upon ruffles upon ruffles, the whole bit. I wanted it pink, though. And I had the whole scenario planned out, and I would go through it every night as part of my wish. I'd imagine waking up in the morning, stumbling over to my closet, because even at 6, I did not like mornings, so stumbling was still in my fantasies. Opening it and discovering my closet bare, except this one breathtaking dress. I'd lean into the closet and feel the soft material between my fingers and on my cheeks before putting it on, and then I'd be able to skip happily out to my mom to show her the wondrous gift from the universe. She'd smile at me knowingly, knowing that deep wishes come true, and then she'd walk me to school. In my fantasy world, I couldn't be the only one who woke up to such glory, so all the kids filing into school would be in their dream clothes too. Dresses, jumpsuits, suits, and even shorts. Whatever they were wanting, it would be theirs. I went to sleep for a year, wishing for that. I knew that it was impossible. Magic like that wasn't real, and God was not answering prayers about frivolous things like dresses. But still, I went through that scenario every night in my head, knowing it was impossible and wishing for it anyway. I look back at that now and wonder how on earth I was capable of holding such a dichotomous truth like that, believing in the truly impossible. I also wonder how it can help me now. On Sunday, December 30th, Jasmine Barnes was killed while riding in the van with her mother and her siblings. She was shot in the head by a 20-year-old man who was arrested yesterday morning. Scores of people are on an unpaid, unwelcome furlough due to our government shutdown at the hands of a man demanding money to further abuse the marginalized and mistreated. The poverty line in 2018, according to the federal government, was an annual income of $12,000 for a single-person household, or $20,000 for a family of 3. That is, for the government to consider a family in poverty and worthy of assistance, you can only make $12,000 a year. It goes without saying that there are people, even in this congregation, that make that in a month. $12,000 annually isn't actually a poverty line. It's a failure of society to take care of one another. It's 2019, and we're still teaching our daughters how not to be raped, still trying to keep our trans children alive, still fighting wars, still. And it's so easy to lose hope, you know? To believe that our collective goal of world community with peace, liberty, and justice for all is just an impossible dream. And maybe it isn't, but it's getting easier to believe that it is. These days, I'm not wishing for a beautiful Cinderella dress in my closet. I'm going to bed each night and imagining waking up in the morning to find my sister's head injury miraculously gone. I run through what it would feel like for her to tell me it doesn't hurt anymore. The pain is finally and completely gone. And it's medically impossible, but it doesn't keep me from wishing for it every night. So why do it? While I was preparing for this sermon, I surprised myself with the answer. I expected to write this and talk about how believing the impossible somehow makes it possible. But that's not true. My 6-year-old self never did once open my closet and find that gown, no matter how much I believed I would. Let's pause here and hold space for our own impossible dreams. Close your eyes if you're comfortable and walk through that scenario in your head that will never be. Let's take a minute together for that. The answer to why we do it is because we're worth it. We must learn how to believe the impossible, even while still knowing it is impossible, because we're worth it. My sister is worth the dream that she will wake up free from pain one day. You are worth the dream you just visualized, every last bit of it. And humanity is worth dreaming of a world community with peace, liberty, and justice for all. We are worth it. We are the miraculous, the true wonder of this world, as Maya Angelou said. When we come to that, we create a path to the impossible. A ball gown will never appear in any child's closet by magic. But I did wear a Cinderella pink gown to my senior prom. And my sister will never wake up to find herself miraculously pain-free, but we diligently attend every neurology appointment she needs. We refill her meds on time, and we create a home in which she can live as comfortably as possible. We're doing work to minimize the pain as much as we can. World peace may be impossible. It may not be. Regardless, the dream of it will keep me working towards it. I will continue to vote in leaders whom I believe share that dream. I will continue to support organizations bringing us closer to liberty and justice for all, such as Black Lives Matter and the Southern Poverty Law Center, and without a doubt, this church. Dreaming of the impossible doesn't suddenly make things possible. It simply gives us a map to creating it as closely as possible. And my God, we are worth it. And so let us listen again to Maya Angelou's words and hear them through the lens of unfulfilled possibility. We, the people on a small and lonely planet, traveling through casual space, past aloof stars, across the way of indifferent suns, to a destination where all signs tell us it is possible and imperative that we learn a brave and startling truth. And when we come to it, to the day of peacemaking, when we release our fingers from fists of hostility and allow the pure air to cool our palms, when we come to it, when the curtain falls on the minstrel show of hate and faces sooted with scorn are scrubbed clean, when battlefields and Colosseum no longer rake our unique and particular sons and daughters up with the bruised and bloody grass to lie in identical plots of foreign soil, when the rapacious storming of the churches, the screaming racket in the temples have ceased, when the pennants are waving gaily, when the banners of the world tremble stoutly in the good, clean breeze. when we come to it, when we let the rifles fall from our shoulders and children dress their dolls in flags of truce, when landmines of death have been removed and the aged can walk into evenings of peace, when religious ritual is not perfumed by the incense of burning flesh, and childhood dreams are not kicked awake by nightmares of abuse. When we come to it, then we will confess that not the pyramids with their sown step in mysterious perfection, nor the gardens of Babylon hanging as eternal beauty in our collective memory, not the Grand Canyon kindled into delicious color by western sunsets, nor the Danube flowing its beautiful blue soul into Europe, not the sacred peak of Mount Fuji stretching to the rising sun, neither Father Amazon nor Mother Mississippi, who without favor nurture all creatures in the depths and on the shores. These are not the only wonders of the world. When we come to it, we, this people, on the minuscule and kidless globe, who reach daily for the bomb, the blade, and the dagger, yet who petition in the dark for tokens of peace, we, this people on the moat of matter, in whose mouths abide cankerous words which challenge our very existence, yet out of those same mouths come songs of such exquisite sweetness that the heart falters in its labor, and the body is quieted into awe. We, this people, on this small and drifting planet, whose hands can strike with such abandon that in a twinkling life is sapped from the living, yet those same hands can touch with such healing, irresistible tenderness that the haughty neck is happy to bow and the proud back is glad to bend. Out of such chaos, of such contradiction, we learn that we are neither devils nor divines. When we come to it, we, this people on this wayward floating body, created on this earth, of this earth, have the power to fashion for this earth, a climate where every man and every woman can live freely without sanctimonious piety, without crippling fear. When we come to it, we must confess that we are the possible, we are the miraculous, the true wonder of this world. And that is when, and only when, we come to it. May it be so.
We ours our religion, which like sunshine goes everywhere. Its faithful all things, its